Okay guys, welcome to my next setup video in the RUF. For this setup we're looking at the wet setup for IMOLA that I used in the Apex online race and that got me pole. The lap in the race wasn't great, it was well off my potentials. We're going to go through the lap and the best lap that I did in pre-practice now. It was 157.2 as you've seen on the previous clip. So we're going to be looking for the 200 brake mark where we're going to brake just past it in the wet. We're going to go down into third gear and we can really attack the curb with this setup I had. So we're over the first curb and then we want to hit the second curb. Again, hard on the power now into fourth gear early to stop the back end from spinning, and then using a little bit of the curb there on the exit. Then coming down into the next braking zone, we're looking for the 100 and we're going to brake down into fourth gear just before we miss the apex slightly. Then we're back onto the curb site there. We run a little bit wide, but we manage to just stay on the white lines on the far tyre. I'm looking out for the 50 marker to brake down into second gear, where we really want to stay on the inside of the curb for this bend. And then on the power as early as you can coming off that bend. Gives you a nice run up into this left-hander up here, where we're looking out for the 50 again on the right. We're braking just past that, going down into third gear, then into fourth gear early, and then flat out all the way down. Then we're going to brake just between the 50 and the 100 there, just before the 100, and we're going to brake down into fourth gear, round these two bends in fourth and third gear, flat out up this hill, and then we're looking for the 100 where we're going to brake just a bit short of the 100 down into second gear, and we're going to really attack the curbs over this chicane that you see now. Over the curbs hard, and then try and avoid running wide. We just managed to keep the left tyre just on the white line. We were verging on running a little bit wide there, but we just managed to keep it on. And we're going to be looking out for the 100, the 150 now I think it is. You see there, we're going to brake just before that hard. Try and keep your braking done in a straight line. Down into second gear for these corners, then into third gear as we come onto the last corner, then hard on the power in third gear. Use as much of the track on the exit as possible for maximum speed down the track, down the last straight. And we go over the line for a 1 minute 47.2 I think it was. Okay, so we're going to run through the setup quickly now and go through some of the changes that we made. Note this, I'm not going to say a setup's going to work for every track because it probably won't. A lot of tracks have different grip levels on the tarmac, so you can't rely on every setup being the same. As you can see there, we went much lower on the front tyre pressures just to give the tyre temperatures on this track, as front tyre temperatures were quite hard to keep up on the RUF on this track. Brake ducts, I would have 25% for qualifying in the wet and 50% for the race. You could probably go down to 40% the race, but I wanted to give a little bit of more air to the brakes for the race. As usual, brake mapping and gauge, there's no point changing any of that. Limited slip 3% I had, and deceleration 100 as usual. You could possibly go down to 1% for the acceleration slip for the race. Bump stop, we actually ran 9 and 12. I did try a lot of other things and I ended up going back to what I originally started with 9 and 12. It definitely gave the most consistent feel for lap after lap. Is what you really want as well in the wet. You don't want a setup that's going to be fast but inconsistent, sorry. And all the other settings there you can see there, we were able to go quite aggressive with the setup on the RUF in the wet, it actually felt really good on the wet tyres. It didn't feel like there was much difference in terms of grip levels to the dry, as you can see from the settings. This setup that I ran, it felt really nice. In the race I think you could have gone a little bit, made a few adjustments to certain things, maybe go a little bit softer in suspension for a bit more grip on the rear for the race, but overall it felt really nice. You can see there, really important to have the rear cambers further to the left to give more grip to the rear in the wet. Rear downforce 3 or 4. 4 is what I ran. You could go 5, it's totally up to yourself, but 4 felt nice and balanced for myself. I'm going to quickly run through the force feedback settings as usual, and I'll leave you with a replay of the lap from the TV cameras. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I hope this helps you guys set up the car in the wet with the RUF, maybe on some other tracks. I'm not too sure how it'll work, but like I say, give it a go and then leave any comments that you want to leave in the comment section, and I'll try my best to get round to answering some of them when I can. So if you want to know if the setup's not working for yourselves, or if there's something that's not working for your driving style, let me know, and I'll always try, if I see it and have time, I'll always try and advise on something you might be able to change in the setup, because remember these setups are for my driving style and how I like the car to handle. So I hope you enjoyed the video anyway guys. Remember, leave a comment if you want, and hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Thanks guys. We'll be looking at Bathurst next in the V8 supercar. Got a nice setup coming for there, another race winning and pole setup. Thanks again guys.